The people who are in different, for example, government jobs or different corporations, how would you advise them to build good relationship, especially with their colleagues and also with their buyers and clients?
People working in government departments are working on very tight ropes and landmines because
Can you please take us through your career journey?
I was so fortunate when I came into the company. The few years I was in charge of that.
Can you give advice to people who also just started working recently or just be employed, and what personalities, or when I say habits, that they should do to become better?
It's not going to be permanent. It's going to be out of fashion. You have to move to something else.
Let's talk about relationships. A lot of people really inquire about if they want to start a business, how would they raise capital or how would they fund their ideas?
Raising capital in Nigeria is virtually impossible because
So what risks have you encountered in your businesses?
the risk I would say one has encountered in businesses is
In terms of culture, how do you balance between increasing production with maintaining the health of the land and the ecosystem?
if you don't have the experts that will give you advice, it's a very, very good venture, but you burn your fingers in a year or two.
In this channel, I sit down with successful people from all kinds of fields and industry to bring you conversations that will inspire, educate, and empower. My goal is simple, is to share ideas and stories that will help you grow and succeed. So please hit the subscribe button now and join me in this podcast series to learn from the best. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us for this podcast. In this podcast, we're going to ask you some questions that will be enlightening to entrepreneurs and young people who want to become better in their lives. And I want to first of all thank you again for agreeing to do this interview. So the first question I ask is, can you please take us through your career journey, how you started, and to where you are right now?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My career started in 1984 when I came back from England after studying insurance at the Chartered Insurance Institute. I was the vice chairman of Mercury Assurance, an insurance company based in Lagos, and I was an executive vice chairman in charge of marketing, marine insurance, aviation insurance, motor insurance, and other insurance. And I was so fortunate when I came into the company, I propelled the premium income of the company by more than 1,000%, which was due to my own efforts. And the few years I was in charge of that insurance company, I moved it from the bottom of the ladder in the insurance company, in the insurance industry, to the top. So that gave me a very good start in my business career when I was starting.
Right. Very interesting. I think that shows the fact that people should work hard from moving something from where they are to take it to the next level. So can you give advice to people who also just started working recently or just be employed, and what personalities, or when I say habits, that they should do to become better at their job?
Yeah, what I would advise is you should be ready to adapt to changes. Changes happen every day in the business environment. There are times something will be in trend, and then there are times it's going to be out of fashion. Now, I'll give you an example. I used to do banking automation and banking security. In the past, we used to have drafts being issued. We didn't have internet banking. We didn't have cards. We didn't have all that. So banking automation started very well, but at the end of the day, when changes in technology happened, you have to move to something else. So you should also know at the back of your mind that whatever you're doing in business, it's not going to be permanent. There might be another change.
I enjoyed this conversation. If you are finding it helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment on the next guest you want to see in this podcast series and share it to someone who might benefit from it. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're talking about people should look to update themselves in their career and try to become
definitely,
better.
definitely.
All right, all right. Okay, now let's talk about relationships. People, the people who are in different, for example, government jobs or different corporations, how would you advise them to build good relationship, especially with their colleagues and also with their buyers and clients?
Well, people working in government departments are working on very tight ropes and landmines because your your character, your integrity, and the way you you work in your government department, is full of booby traps. And if you don't tread softly, you will end up, in a very, very bad state. So what I'll tell you is just follow the rules, stay by the rules, and do what is right, so that you don't get up into trouble one day. My advice is just stick to the rules and stay by the rules. Period.
All right. Thank you for saying that. And there's this question, a lot of people really inquire about if they want to start a business, how would they raise capital or how would they fund their ideas? Is there any advice you give to people who want to go through that path?
Well, the only advice I can give is raising capital in Nigeria is virtually impossible because the cost of funds is very, very high. But if you do get yourself in a very good stead with a very good reputation and everything, you can have human capital that would help propel you to whatever you want to do. Some people might see that you are very, very honest, and they will trust you with their own money, and give you a startup. But as for the banks and financial institutions, they are not there for you, for you to start your business. They are not there to give you anything, except if you're already, you're already made. Then they will come and they'll be running to get your account and have all that. But your integrity and your pedigree is very, very important.
All right. So you're trying to say that people should you need to have be trustworthy and have good integrity.
Definitely, exactly,
To give you fund to grow.
exactly.
So, what risks have you encountered in your businesses, and then how are you able to overcome?
The risk I would say one has encountered in businesses is due to exchange rate fluctuations. I can remember once importing a container of cow and gate milk, and the exchange rates, was changed all of a sudden, and I had bills for collection. So all those form part of the risk. But if you hedge into goods and services in an economy where your currency has never appreciated, then you'll be very fortunate. Because I would say in the last 40 years we have not seen an appreciation in our currency, except the normal little drop, and then goes up very, very high.
In terms of culture, how do you balance between increasing production with maintaining the health of the land and then the ecosystem?
Well, what I can say about that, agriculture, if you don't put your boot on the ground yourself, if you are not in the farm yourself, it's not going to succeed. And then if you don't have the experts that will give you advice on the soil and the ratio of the way you're going to plant your crops and everything, it's a very, very tedious thing. It's a very, very good venture, but it requires quite a lot of know-how. And if you do not have the right people running your firm, you burn your fingers in a year or two.
I would seriously like to thank you so much for accepting this. You're not normally used to it.
Thank you very, very much.
And we're very appreciated to have you.
Thank you very much, Ali.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.